On this week's episode of The Automated Entrepreneur, the Pareto Principle. I remember it like it was yesterday. I had just completed my best performance in my JOB, the one that I absolutely hated but excelled at. I remember the sacrifices, the hard work and the persistence it took to climb that mountain of competition. I remember the insane hours, the lost weekends, the missed social events. I remember my initial training and my manager's advice about how to rise through the corporation. I remember the grandness of the Champions Dinner, our company's most prestigious event, where top producers received invitation-only entrance. I remember the moment that I was called to the stage, as the MC rhymed off my list of accomplishments. The instructions were clear. Accept the trophy, smile at the audience, shake hands with the vice president, leave the stage. It seemed simple enough. The audience clapped, and I held my trophy in one hand and began to shake hands with the corporate big shot. But instead of looking at me in the eye and congratulating me, he turned to the staff member beside him and chirped, "You know, it's always the same guys winning. This is boring. We really have to do something about this." I stood aghast. The shock lasted forever. Mr. Pavarelli, if you're listening, you're a jerk. You robbed me of what should have been a crowning achievement. And thank you. Thank you, because in that spark, in that very moment, you ignited in me a hunger to never prostitute myself for another boss, ever. And so I began an incredible quest to become an automated entrepreneur, never imagining in doing so I would discover myself and the incredible power which had been laying dormant within me. Oh, I was a cauldron of mixed emotions. I felt betrayed, lost. I was frustrated and angry. But strangely, I also felt equally excited, rejuvenated, determined, and free. I began listening to daily podcasts hosted by high achievers. I committed to reading books on business, finance, and self-help. As part of my new beginning, I began interviewing some of the most successful business people in my city. I wanted to learn their secrets. One in particular proved most helpful. Thank you, Paul. My friend taught me that the more I simplified my efforts and reduced the number of tasks I was doing, the better my results would become. Besides that, the less confusion and exhaustion I would feel. For years, I had believed that the more I did, the more likely I was to succeed. But I couldn't have been more wrong. Paul taught me about the Pareto Principle. Vilfredo Pareto was an Italian economist and sociologist who is known for his theory on mass and elite interaction, as well as for his application of mathematics to economic analysis. Well, how does this relate to us? The principle states that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. So I figured if I could find out what those 20% efforts were, I could double up on those and 10x my results. With this understanding, I commenced documenting my daily activities by keeping a daily journal, something I call my activity tracker. The results were astounding. What became immediately clear was the staggering amount of time I was evaporating every day by engaging in routine stuff that would never contribute directly to generating income. Checking emails, surfing the web, trolling through various social media platforms, rechecking my email, responding to chatter, weighing in on frivolous conversations, rechecking my email, returning calls from friends who craved idle gossip. These were just some of my time wasters. These were my wealth stealers. On the surface, these distractions seemed harmless enough. Surprisingly, checking my emails stole 30 minutes out of each day. Social media swallowed a whole hour. and Zoom meetings claimed at least another 45 minutes. And on it went. Multiply that by 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, and that claims at least 40 hours every month spent on non-critical distractors, none of which generated immediate income. Imagine working for a traditional boss for 40 hours every month and not getting paid for it. Worse still, I was doing this to myself. I hadn't taken the time to consider where my time was going. I began focusing on those tasks that would add to the bottom line. I created more. I sought innovation. I built a better value ladder of exclusive solutions and was rewarded handsomely. I leveraged the 80-20 rule to my advantage. I dominated my greatest asset, my time.
Precious!
There are 7 ways that we may help you. First, I recommend you subscribe now to this podcast, Automated Entrepreneur, on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Breaker, and more. Secondly, follow us on Instagram at The Automated Entrepreneur, or subscribe to our YouTube channel at Automated Entrepreneur. Next, why not take 20 minutes and complete our short questionnaire? This easy tool allows us to determine your readiness to create and launch real prosperity this year. Next, you could book a free coaching call to get your questions answered and experience real growth right now. Or you could sign up for our Ignite Bootcamp, our online monthly program where you can actually do it in your pajamas while learning how to eliminate debt, pay off your mortgage in 8 years or less, create passive income, invest in real estate, and much, much more. Visit us at ignitepro.ca. And lastly, you could register for our Prosperity Code program, where you will launch a new business, claim tax deductions, and create passive income. Visit us at join.theprosperitycode.ca. And that's this week's episode of The Automated Entrepreneur.